Hello, everybody. Dear Ronald is timing that wave very awesome.
Yep.
Already off to a great start. Hello, everybody, and welcome to what's left of us, the D&D live stream. Wait, Basements of Big Lizard. Shit, we're close.
Basements of Big Lizards.
Well, actually, no.
Get
is
it
D&D.
right.
We changed it to Dungeons and Daves. Remember?
Oh, wait, Dave's not in the show.
No, but he could be. Same universe. No, wait, not the same universe. Where is Dave?
You can't.
We'll talk.
You can't
this is later
hint
talk.
it, Dave.
Where is the skull?
Only people
in
who
the
come to my
overworld
streams
of
are gonna get
Faerun?
these jokes.
And most of the people who come to your streams watch us because they're all lovely people.
It's true. It's a very almost circular, just Venn diagram, just like one complete circle.
All right, I feel like I'm being roasted.
I love Venn diagrams.
We're off to a
We
great
love
start.
your community. What are you talking about?
Dungeons and Big Lizards. We're so good at this.
Welcome to what's left of us, the once a month live stream where we all get together. We play a little bit of TTRPGs for everyone watching. That would be you all here. We are joined today by all of our lovely players. We got Star, Ron, and Zoe. We do not have a Mildred today. Mildred was a little too busy. And then we also have... Who else should I talk about? Hold on.
Mods.
Yes, thank you. I was literally about to go that, and it just
That's what you
left
usually
my
do.
brain.
Goodbye.
Yes, I was like, I'm going to talk about the mods, and my brain was like, excuse me? Who?
The who?
Okay, so the mods. In the chat, you will see Slyfox, and you will see pronouns in my bio. That is Sam and Sly. They are our two lovely mods, and they help keep us all safe. And they do indeed have their own call-outs. Hi, everybody. Perfect. They are both creators in their own right as well, and you should absolutely go and check out their stuff. Their links will be posted on the chat really, really soon here. However, if you have any immediate questions, the mods can answer them for you. If you are being a butt, the mods will indeed ban you, so be careful. If you have any questions that are less immediate and more for the cast and what's going on in the show, please hold those questions until the end of the stream, because we usually have a couch sit down on a big virtual couch that we all metaphorically sit on, but we do actually answer your questions. See how that works? Metaphor couch, but we answer real questions. We will also answer metaphorical questions, and we will metaphorically answer real questions, but that's, you'll see when the time comes.
That's a game theory.
It's just a game theory.
I love Dungeons and Dragons so much, where we talk about weird shit for like 20 minutes before we start the episode.
Yeah, you gotta get everybody warmed up, you know.
I gotta do all my disclaimers. Speaking of which, sometimes
It's
there
Claymore.
are Claymore. I'm a swordsman. I do indeed do Claymore. This is an RPG game, and so everyone at the table has kind of like consented to a whole bunch of different themes and stuff like that with their characters' stories, but obviously you at home have not been able to do so. So in the event that something comes up that you are uncomfortable with, please take the time to step away from the stream and then come back when you feel like you're ready. Obviously no shame in stepping away when you need to. Just don't feel like you need to sit here through that sort of thing. You can leave. And you should, if that bothers you. What's up?
Bye. I'm leaving.
Oh, no, you can't leave, though. You're contractually obligated.
Ah, shit.
I didn't sign a contract.
No, you didn't. You started. With her
He owns my bones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Yeah. And oddly, I signed a contract, too. It's Ron that holds them all, strangely.
Yeah,
that's weird.
That's a strange decision, since my filing cabinet is buried beneath like mounds and mounds of boxes. So
that's good. That means liability will be not swift. So
yeah, no, it's gonna take a while.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do I have to go over before we play? It is ADHD hours in here. Huge.
Yarp.
Let me see here. See, I did one. I did this. I did the questions thing for the end of the stream. I guess all I have to do now is recap? Is that right?
Spit us a yarn,
right
Cone Man.
I don't touch yarn. I have been told it's court order. I'm not allowed to.
That's in the contract. Yeah.
Okay.
I have
Sure.
done
This is such a
fair.
litigious episode. I don't know what is happening.
Because we're doing Feywild shit. That's why.
We
That-
need
Yeah, it's
we
in
need to get
subsection D.
Kimchi in here. Oh, I should have
Part
had Kimchi come
49.
in here as a villain. He'd make a great archfey.
He would.
Mm.
Ugh.
Someone get Kimchi on the horn right now. Later.
All right, hold
Um,
on. I gotta ask him to come on the podcast still.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Don't think there's any other announcements. No, good. Well, we'll just recap. Okay, so last time on What's Left of Us, I was very mean with a certain mirror. We found that there were more loopholes to this mirror than previously thought. It didn't just make Vernon not dumb and then dumb again. It made it took away various things like Emery's entire food lexicon.
Emery lost her food preferences in the war. Black.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Zoe, you were done the last episode.
Oh,
so shit
yeah.
happened.
No, yeah, this recap is very important to me specifically because I wasn't here.
Oh,
Because
God.
the
Yeah, can
so the
someone explain
mirror-
this more cogently than me? Because
Yeah, so the mirror feeds on truths. You give it a truth and you get a truth back. And so it's like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like important facts. And so Emery was just like, I don't like potatoes. Tell me the name of God. For like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
and it was good stuff. Learned a lot of goofy things.
And then forgot it immediately because fuck you, actually.
Yeah, so like Emery and Rathgrither had this sort of like carousel thing going on for a hot minute where they'd rotate going back into the. It was well, actually that's fair. I think Rathgrither only went in once because she found out she was a mushroom and not a person, actually. Although no, she's a person. She's just a mushroom person.
Mhm.
It's just, I think she took the wrong thing from that. We're being affirmative to Rathgrither in this recap. But yeah, the truth was is that Rathgrither went in an attempt to erase who she was in her mind because she wanted to actually be Rathgrither. So telling the truth of who she was supposed to get the mirror to eat that truth, and thus she would, of course, truly believe that she was Rathgrither. However, the mirror informed her that that was not the truth, that she really was Rathgrither, because that person died quite some time ago. And so, with that truth learned, and mostly Rathgrither getting what she wanted, but in the worst way, which is the best Fae thing to do in the world, we moved on to Emery coming back in, realizing what she could do, and then suddenly learning the identity of the person who had ruined her life. Unfortunately, it was a universal truth that had been blocked by some magical spell that was very powerful. And so Emery forgot it the second she left the tent and is left with a very angry, sick feeling in the pit of her stomach. And then Tim Tam saw animals, and she ran towards the tent that had all the animals in it, forcing the rest of the party to run with her, although I don't think it was very much forced on Vernon's part. I think Vernon was like, ooh, also animals.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It was pretty much, yeah. I lost my
Mhm.
ability to turn into a crab, so now yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Emery is going to end this campaign by inventing child leashes.
Mm-hmm. Very much. God, someone actually did the meme with
The
Emery
meme
and
art.
the others. Yeah, and it
Mhm.
was so good. I gotta put it in the reel. Anyways, so going inside the tent, understanding that it is indeed one of the many free experiences in this particular circus. You walk inside the tent, and a door closes behind you all. And you find yourselves in a fancy location. Quite indeed, it is a ballroom. Let me get all the players inside here, and then I will give you all access to the map, because you are in the zoo. Yes, the zoo, where
Ooh.
cows dance with rabbits, spiders dance with narwhals, a crocodile holds court over a banquet buffet, and a group of sea creatures plays cards in the corner with a shark. Yes, welcome to the zoo.
Card shark. Very nice. I would like to take this opportunity to transform into Fancy Vernon.
Do you have like mask of many faces?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think that was one of my main things. Hold on a sec. I just want to make sure.
DM, the Zoom music is a smidge loud.
Is it? I will turn it down.
A little bit.
Zoe did mention that it was a little loud earlier.
I actually don't see it right now, so give me a second and I'll go look, but we can continue doing other stuff in the meantime.
Where is my... Hello?
I swear that was the thing.
We're just stuck with the loud music forever.
No, I got it. I see it. How's that?
Much
Is that better?
better.
Yes.
I could have sworn that was the thing I had. I guess not. Never mind.
You definitely did at some point
I
because you used
know I
that
have
during the
Tensor's
break-in
transformation.
at
Yeah,
Emery's
yeah.
family house.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you update to the new Warlock? Because that might have happened.
No, I
Okay.
didn't do any. Oh, I have disguise self. That's what I have.
Oh, okay. Well, that worked.
So yeah, I'm going to disguise myself as Fancy Vernon.
What is Fancy Vernon?
He's wearing a tuxedo now,
Oh, okay.
and he has a monocle.
Oh, good. Good,
Yeah.
good.
Fan artists, you know what to do.
Mm-hmm. Fan artist.
Mhm.
Indeed, Mr. Vernon, you have put on a jacket, and as you come down, there is indeed, or if you do descend the stairs, you are all kind of standing agog at the top of the stairs, as you are announced one by a voice from down the stairs. Actually, 1 second. I need to put in this voice. Where is he? Hold on.
Oh, Lord.
Where is my beast? There you are. Indeed, there is a rooster in a very fine bow tie at the very bottom of the stairs who is announcing you all. I am pleased to announce Mr. Vernon Black. Wait, I got the names mixed up.
Nope.
Who's Black?
Nope. Nope. I'm Emery Black.
You're Emery Black. Well, why aren't you
Vernon
wearing...
Fleming.
No, I'm Vernon Black Tie.
Well, then who is Tim Tam Fleming? Are you all related?
Oh,
Why is this chicken talking?
I am so sorry. I don't. Humanoids are strange to me. All right, it is Vernon Fleming. All right, and then the black goes over here, and then which one of you is Butterball? Is that the large green lady? And Black goes, "Excuse me."
she sort of like peers
That's
up
it.
over the railing.
Butterball. All right, then that means that Miss Rathgotha must be without sans nom de plume, as it were. A single name like Cher. All right, everybody, let's start again. Vernon Fleming.
Yes, hello, thank you.
You're supposed to descend the stairway when
I am in my mind.
well, there you go. Yeah, you did. You should have gone down the stairway instead of leaping over the balcony. But sure, you're all right. You're all right. Miss Emery Black. It says in parentheses, Amelia von Orselin. Is this which would you prefer as a moniker?
Emery's fine. I
All
guess
right.
if we're playing this game.
Emery Black. Pardon me, Miss Emery, but you are going to need different clothing to attend this particular function.
What?
You need to be dressed like your companion here.
Don't got one of those.
Oh, don't worry, they are provided. Just think of whichever you would like to wear, and poof, you are almost enveloped in this colorful smoke. What does Emery's internal ballroom look in her brain?
Good fucking question. Oh man. I feel like it's a floor length kind of gown, but it's got like one of those high slits up the side, shows a lot of leg, like some strappy sandals, and it's like a little low cut in the front.
Sure, yeah.
It's got like loose sleeves.
I'm doing this for you, artists. You better. This is. I hear like hawk furs and doodle-oodle in the background. Just.
Called out.
Mm-hmm. Very well.
It's
very
like
well.
black, and there's like a little bit of a sheen to it.
Yes. Yes, that's quite good. Bravo. Well done. You can move to the side, please.
Okay.
Timothy Butterball.
It's just Tim Tam. It's just Tim Tam. Can I get an outfit? Do I just have to like think of it and then I get?
Yes, indeed. You cannot come down the stairs with sticks in your hair, please.
I know that's part of the. It doesn't matter. I think Tim is going to be in like full suit, a bright plum suit, and that's and a tiny little top hat, tiny for her, or like tiny for like normal size for her.
Yeah.
And Sparks, of course, has a little bow tie. And that's it.
Oh, yes,
I can't believe that this is how we get our ball episode.
Such illustrious company, my Lord McBarks. Sparks just like nods sheepishly and moves over with you. And then finally, the mighty Rathgirther. Actually, it says here you're allowed to wear whatever you like, which is very interesting. Well, of course, none should stymie the style of Rathgirther. She has all the drip. And then she will move this way. I feel like Mildred would say that.
That sounds like something Mildred would say. I would know that, having had them on the most recent episode of the show.
I'm pretty sure Mildred doesn't watch the mods. I'm safe for now.
For now, yes.
For now.
Just you wait till I DM them, though.
No, please. They were very nice. They drew me a corn dog last episode. Okay. You are now in the zoo proper. You see, of course, there's a dance floor you can immediately walk onto. There are two different areas for eating, both in smaller segregated tables and a larger banquet one. You see there's an octopus at the far end of the corner, which is the one producing all of this lovely music on various instruments at once. And there is a bar.
Is that a giant toad at the bar?
It is a giant toad at the bar.
Emery. Tim Tam wants to immediately go over to this giant toad.
Do you just like walk across the dance floor?
No, of course not.
Okay.
She sprints across the dance floor.
Okay. You nearly knock into the narwhal that's dancing with the spider.
Oh, sorry. It's very important.
Hey.
Hi.
The toad turns around to you, and it's one of those frogs with like the really exaggerated upside down C mouth, you know? What can I do for you?
That is her making that noise, not just me. Though I am also making that noise. You're so cool. Wait, is this a goose next to it? A normal sized goose and a giant
toad. It is a normal sized goose, yeah.
Is this just a goose? Oh, wow. You're so cool.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Jay, your voice is literally not coming through on the mic.
What you're saying.
I'm very choleric.
Little lower, bud.
I think chat can hear me. Yeah, because there's an expander, I think.
Oh yeah, I can hear you. She just cannot understand what you're saying. Okay, I'm gonna go. There's so many cool people here. Or animals. Are animals people? Are you people?
I think we're people. Excuse you.
Okay. Okay, bye.
I am desperately trying to mimic those toes that just squeak when they're angry.
Yes. Yeah, she's gonna run around to basically every creature and just like ogle at them and like point out like, oh my gosh, you're a shark. To every single creature, just full on like a dog at a fucking dog park, just sprinting to every single person she can and identifying
is making
them.
Friends and enemies of almost everything in the zoo. Who else is doing something while Tim is sprinting high speed?
I feel like Emery would just be chasing Tim around, making sure she doesn't enter some kind of fake contract with any of these animals. And before she runs off, she's gonna look at Rathgirther, look at Vernon, and just be like, please don't do anything stupid, and then just go take off after Tim.
Vernon's gonna turn to
Why-
Redforth and be like, "I'm gonna go do something stupid."
She specifically just requested you not. I, however, am going to go eat every piece of food I find in this place. Good day.
Oh,
And then she immediately moves to the nearest table and starts wolfing down food.
just hoping this is not a
Wolf.
Spirited Away type situation. Oh no. Oh
Vernon's
no.
gonna go over to the card table because he sees the crab.
There is a giant crab approaching the table. There is a smaller dolphin. There is a large snapping turtle, and of course, the head of this table, the shark, who is
The card
Dealer.
shark, yes.
Yes, it has a little visor
Mhm.
on its head and everything.
Yes, yes.
Hello, who are you?
Hello, yes, I am Vernon Fleming. I'm here to. I see you have a bit of the card game going on, unless I'm mistaken.
No, it is. I just wasn't aware that humanoids played such sophisticated games. Don't you
Oh,
people
yes,
like
yes.
to chase with sticks or something? I don't know what people
Oh,
of your type
no,
do.
no, that's the other one. That's the little one that ran over to the bar.
The
to say hello
tiny,
to the frog.
Is
Yes,
she your
yes.
pet or something? I don't know the dynamics of humanoids.
No, that's not how that works.
Oh, I see. See,
No,
I keep a
I'm
couple
just-
of pet remora myself, and they are quite little things, tetchy, always excitable. I thought that's what that was when I came through the door.
No, but that's very interesting. Good to know indeed. What is the buy-in for this card game?
The buy-in is 5 sardines.
Ah, 5 sardines. Okay, and then
Or something
know.
of equivalent value, says the crab.
what
Yes,
would be-
yes, the crab seems to think that herring are also acceptable. We try to dissuade him whenever possible, but I suppose any small feeding fish would probably be acceptable if you really wish to try.
Well, let me look through my pouch here, and while I'm doing that, we can go over to somebody
Okay.
else.
I just have one little tidbit. While Emery is, are there like anywhere that Emery could catch her reflection potentially?
Oh, yes, there's reflective
Like a-
surfaces all over the place here.
I think that at some point she would just like, she's chasing Tim. She runs past a mirrored surface at some point, sees her reflection, kind of does a little pose, making like a pouty face, like, who backslid? And she just like continues chasing. And she keeps chasing Tim. He's like, I'm hot, shut up.
Listen, Emery gets so few chances to be hot these days. She was a legit debutante before she left, and now,
And she still can be.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, just because I'm a tiefling doesn't mean it's like, listen, the clothes are hot, the drip is hot. Acknowledge it, younger sister who has no taste. Listen, I know it's not fancy, but I look sexy. I look like I'm on the cover of a novel. Shut up. These are her internal thoughts.
Of course. Of course.
I look so hot right now. Anyway, Tim, don't talk to any more animals.
Why? But that's what we're here to do, right?
Isn't
that
it?
like the point?
I mean, they said that the animals might, whispering now, they said that they might like try to rope you into contracts, and that is what we are desperately trying to avoid.
Yeah, but saying hi to something is not being in a contract with it.
I suppose not, but it is a way to enter into that kind of thing. It's the entry drug of fable shit, and just stop making that face at me.
I don't think like saying hello is not
It's initiating conversation that could then lead to bad. Did your parents?
literally anything
I know
could
there's
then
things
lead
like
to that.
Have you ever learned from anyone about stranger danger?
But yeah, my parents didn't let me open the door in the tower to anybody because I could have
Hard cut to
died.
Vernon, like trying to find a fish.
Got any
Sure.
breeze?
I'm sure I found fish here somewhere.
Okay, well that's fine. I won't talk to anybody. But then what are we supposed to do?
I don't know. You were the one who wanted to come in here.
Yeah, because I wanted to talk to the animals.
Tim,
What?
if you look to your right, there is a group of 4 ferrets dancing together on the dance floor.
I'm gonna go say hi to these ferrets. Okay, bye. And she's gonna go.
Okay.
Sparks, I bet you could chase those ferrets around the entire dance floor.
Say less. And then he fucking rushes at the ferrets, and the ferrets go. And then they're like running around the thing. And mostly other.
Them. Are you happy? Is this better, Emery?
I don't know.
Oh, so you look super nice. You picked a good outfit.
Thank you.
Do I look okay? I don't know if purple is my color.
No, it works.
Should I pick the dress?
No,
I've never worn a dress in my whole life.
No, it's not you. It's just I hate the situation and it's hard to focus. You look good.
Oh, thank you.
Please don't enter into any fake contracts.
I'm not gonna enter into any fake contracts.
Promise.
I don't know how to do that.
And that's why they're gonna get you.
Well, fine.
Okay,
if we
basically,
can't talk
if
to anybody, let's go eat.
Okay,
some
listen.
food
You can say hello,
That's what
and
I
you
was
can
doing.
exchange pleasantries.
Oh,
I am just trying to make sure that you don't get stuck here forever.
I mean, it'd be pretty cool to be stuck here
No,
forever.
it's super duper wouldn't.
Well, let's go maybe get some food with Rathgurther, and then it'll be fine.
Yep. Let's go. Make sure the other two aren't going to do anything.
Smash cut over to Rathgurther, shoveling just so much food into her mouth. And then smash cut over to Vernon. Vernon, you have looked. You have.
And so I'm going to cast Find Familiar.
Are you going to sacrifice your familiar as a betting option?
You know what? That's a good point. I didn't think through what I was doing the last time I was, messing around with Fey magic.
It's perfectly
I
fine
have a
for
familiar.
you.
Yeah, I have a Find Familiar thing. I haven't used it yet though, so I'm
you
going
absolutely
to bring out
can if you would like to. And if you think Vernon would be so short-sighted, you absolutely could.
I think he would be, but I feel like it would be a bad idea now that I've thought about it for another 2 seconds.
Okay, but see, consider Find Familiar. You can summon just like a creature from the ether.
Yeah.
You don't have
from the ether.
Or just from the whatever.
Do you know where Find Familiar pulls animals from?
Me Star does not.
No,
And
I don't
Emery
either.
wouldn't either.
The Feywild.
Oh.
What if you tried to summon one of the animals here as your familiar? What would that
What
do?
if I summoned the mirror?
So the mirror.
Didn't the mirror implode when we last left
it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, because I complimented it and it had never had anything nice said to it before, so it So,
You said it. No, you said it truth about the mirror, so the mirror had to eat it, so the mirror ceased to exist.
Yeah. Yeah, very true.
The dude was mad because you killed his boss.
We freed
somehow I
him
still
from
didn't
his
get the
contract.
ability.
He should be grateful.
Yeah, somehow I
Mhm.
still didn't get the ability to transform back into a crab. Otherwise, I would have just done that and been like, "Hey guys, look at me! I'm a giant crab. You can eat me if I lose." Well, yeah.
I bet
think
if you asked Sparks to give you some fish, he could give you some fish.
Oh, that's a good
also.
point. Hey,
Like-
Sparks, come over here, buddy. Come here.
But Sparks is
He is
busy
chasing ferrets,
Yeah, he's
so.
busy gambooling with some ferrets, unfortunately.
Okay, then I will just do the Homer Simpson fade into the bushes thing and try to go find some more fish.
I mean, if you look around the tables around you, there are indeed many assorted dishes.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm just gonna take all the dishes and put them on the tray or on the table and be like, "Here you go."
Well, you see, I see why you would have some difficulty understanding that these are not fish, but this one
They
is a
look like
dumpling.
fish to me.
This one is a pound cake. This one is this one is a strip of beef.
Look. So let me tell you something. I am not smart enough to engage in a conspiracy, which means I'm also going to be a bit of a mark when it comes to winning this game.
The turtle leans into the shark while you're explaining all this. He goes, "I think the humanoid is a little bit poor, my friend. Perhaps we should just let him play as a charity." And the shark goes, "You're quite right. Come, play. We will accept your pound cake and strip of beef. Shall we?"
Just like handing your little brother the controller that's not plugged in.
Right.
Yep.
Now, the game, as you might have already guessed, is Go Fish.
Oh, yes, of course.
And we will move on from there to Emery at the moment, because Emery, at this moment, as you are chastising Tim, this couple of dancing partners break up, and a tiny rabbit jumps up to you.
What do you want?
I was hoping that you would give me the pleasure of a dance, miss. And he
Inside
twitches his
check.
little nose.
Inside check. Is this
Go
some fake
for it.
bullshit?
Well, I don't know if you can tell it's fake bullshit from an inside check, but you can make an inside check.
No, that is a 2 plus
That is
0.
That is a 2. You are entirely disarmed by how cute this rabbit is.
You can't tell because she's red, but she is blushing a little bit just from cute aggression. I guess. Fine.
Wonderful.
You said even talking to anybody was basically engaging in a contract.
I'm not gonna talk to him.
I don't think I understand what this dancing
she's gonna
is.
lean down to the rabbit and be like, "You're not trying to steal my soul or anything fucking weird, are you?"
I assure you, it's just a dance, miss. I found you enchanting when you arrived from the doorway, and I said to myself, I must at least attempt to dance with such a vision.
She is being buttered up very effectively. She's just like, okay, fine, sure.
You get out of the dance floor, and he goes, "If it's all right, I prefer to lead."
Yeah, I'm a little rusty, so I'll just. She's like, she knows ballroom dancing. She has
Sure.
no idea how the fuck to do it with a rabbit, though.
Make a performance check
Oh Lord.
with disadvantage, because your
Okay.
partner is indeed a bunny.
Neither of those are good. It's an 8.
Okay, though, he rolled a 7, and because you
Hey!
two match, you're both basically dancing the same way.
Good.
They're both
and,
doing the Elaine.
I think you, at some point you choose to bend over as far as you can to grab his little hands, and he's like, "I mean, you could, okay, but I will. All right, you know what? How about you just pick me up and we'll go from there?" And so instead, you have picked up your partner and you are dancing together. It's like, yes, okay, this is much better. Excellent. The mechanics were unfamiliar. I was dancing with a bear earlier and it went okay, but I was mostly just grappling the fur on the knees, moving her around.
Yeah, I don't got any of that. Sorry, pal.
Yeah, I noticed. It's just dress. We don't
Yep.
wear dresses here. The narwhal sometimes comes in something nice.
Yeah. So what's the deal with this place? Is it just this all the time, or?
Well, this is the zoo, dear. Did no one tell you what the zoo was like? Have you never been to
Uh,
one?
My short companion over there just kind of ran in, and we're just kind of making it up.
Tim
as we
Tam is
go.
gone.
You
Oh,
don't
shit.
even see her. She's gone.
Oh. Do I see Sparks?
Yeah, Sparks is on the floor with the ferrets all jumping around him and on him, and he's on his back and doing dog stuff, and it's really freaking
Sparks!
cute.
Hey, buddy. Sparks. Hey,
Yes.
go follow Tim Tam around to make sure she doesn't get into anything stupid.
But ferrets.
I know. You can play later, okay?
Okay.
You can take the ferrets with you if you want.
Ferret friends, come with me on adventure. And then they all load up on him. And then he he does this, and then he gallops off after.
Okay, hopefully he is gonna be in charge of that.
It's indeed.
Because, like, okay,
Mhm.
full disclosure, last place we were at was like a mirror that like.
Oh, that
ate
asshole.
True. Okay, so you're familiar. Yeah. So we're just kind of got to be on guard because we are. I don't
Mhm.
know if it's abundantly obvious, not from here.
Well,
but
no,
we've
but that's
heard
the
this.
whole point of a zoo. We all come here to see interesting and exotic specimens from across the lands, and there's always something new. And frankly, you and your companions are quite an interesting sight.
Sure.
Hmm. I
So-
don't even think. Pardon me. I don't even think any of us have ever seen a tiefling here before. For instance, it's quite a good show from the zoo.
Sure.
Really makes you wonder who is the zoo here.
Oh, you guys are. You're the captains.
How'd you hear that? Oh, he's around me. He's got really good hearing.
I do. By the way, your friend is losing horribly at Go Fish.
Yeah, that's not surprising. I don't even think he knows what a fish is.
Right. Well, see, I think he's
telling
trying
me
to.
this corn dog is not a fish.
I think Vernon
It's a
is
dog!
trying.
It's a dog!
I think Vernon is absolutely trying to use the cons he knows for like poker and stuff, and it's just not working because it's Go
I
Fish.
don't understand why the charlatan's dice isn't coming into play here.
My goodness. So yes, no. You don't have to offer anything, and none of you are probably in danger of any sort of. I mean, there are some unsavory characters here. I would avoid the toad if I were you. But the no one here is looking to make contracts with the attractions at the zoo. We're here to view you all and have a fun time in your presence. That's what a zoo is.
I feel like Emery is still suspicious and she's keeping an eye on her party members. But, I mean, no one has tried any bullshit here yet. So,
All right. Yes.
Yet being the operative word.
Yes, indeed. Indeed, yet. By the way, if you have a chance, please try dancing with the cow. She's very good, actually. Light on her hooves.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I guess I'm just not used to dancing with animals, I suppose you could say.
Oh, that's fine. Neither are we. Moving on to Tim. Where did Tim go?
She is currently sharing she's eating corn cob with the raccoon in the chair next to the raccoon at the thing. They're just both chomping away,
Where did
eating
I leave the
corn.
raccoon? Was it near the camel?
In
Where's the
front of the pig to the right.
Oh yes, there
You
is
have
a
to, like,
raccoon there. I forgot
you have to-
the
yeah.
the
The chair kinda
table.
blocks
The
it,
chair
you
is
have to,
chair
like-
is high.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So you're sitting next to this raccoon, and he is he's enjoying a lot of things. You see him scooping food like under him on his chair for a minute, and he's like, "That's for later, so I can." Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
I did that too. My parents would always tell me that like that's not like how I'm supposed to eat, but like I would do it anyway.
Yeah, they always say squirrel away, like it's that, but I find that offensive. Squirrels don't often actually hold on to their food very long unless they're getting ready for the winter.
Bury it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
That's not what you do with food. You take it
No.
home, you wash it, and then you wash your hands,
Mhm.
and then you eat.
Yeah.
Very important to wash your hands. You wash your hands before you came here, right?
Yeah.
She certainly has not.
Don't worry, there's a little bowl right next to your hands over there. That's for washing your hands. Don't drink it though. I did that once. It was very bad. It's full of like lemon and soap and stuff. So
Okay. And she she dips her hands in the bowl. So like what it's kind of weird that like there are animals here and you're like eating animal stuff. Like there's a roast pig over at the other end of the table, but then there's also like a pig eating stuff. Like that's kind of weird,
well,
right?
that's entirely different. It's entirely different. Why? Don't humanoids eat things that sometimes walk on two legs? It's the same thing.
There's No, it's really quite different because it's not like that's another pig, like specifically a pig, whereas like us
Well, listen,
eating
I try
chickens,
not
like
to.
that's two totally different animals.
As a raccoon, I don't judge what people eat. I
That's
just don't do
true.
that. It's a slippery slope, you know. And the camel's like, it's true. He's a very fine eating companion.
That's yeah. I mean, I grew up in the woods and I was friends with a lot of raccoons and we would sit and eat together. They sometimes would like crawl on me and like try and like eat out of my hair and stuff,
How
and like that was
uncouth.
kind of weird. Yeah,
Yes.
right. You seem a lot
Oh, well, you see,
you have better manners.
a lot of us in here, we're not from the material plane, right? I've been a couple times, but they don't understand the animals over there ain't like us, right?
Yeah,
They're different.
they're kind of like
Well,
you guys are so much cooler.
Well, this is what happens when you live in a realm where Fae people walk around and uplift animals as they see fit. And so we've got this whole society of uplifted creatures.
That's kind of like what I did with my dog. Except
Your
I think
dog?
that he's
The
my
metal
dog,
one?
and she like yeah.
The Lord McBarks. He's your dog.
Yeah.
No way.
I made him.
No way.
him.
You're joshing me. He's
No,
famous. What do you mean you made him?
He's famous.
Yes,
He
he's
like
famous.
just got here. What is he? How is he famous?
He's been famous for eons. What are you talking about?
Can I would like to roll insight to see if this raccoon is pranking me.
Go for it. A raccoon pranking you?
That's a 19.
This is ridiculous. This whole setup is ridiculous.
Is this raccoon pranking me?
No, this raccoon is very sincere.
That's But like what do you mean? So like famous like what? What does that mean?
Well, he's going to be the lord of a realm someday. Maybe not now, but he will be, and he sort of is. It's hard to explain to somebody who's mostly from the material plane.
No, well, the thing is, I'm like I'm sort of. There's like a whole bunch of, you know what? We have time for this. She's gonna explain literally everything to this raccoon.
Right.
Her entire backstory, her whole like, this like innate connection to the plains, the fact that her parents had all these other kids.
Right.
Literally all of it, she's gonna tell this raccoon.
By the time you are done, the pig has moved over. The crocodile has moved over to the other side and is like wrapping a tail around you and is like, it's all right, dearie. It's going to be okay. And the goat has moved over here. And everyone is just kind of listening intently, pardon me. And like the camel is like, don't you worry, dearie. It will be your family now. It's okay. It's all right.
I have my friends. I don't need a whole family. I'm okay. I want to know about my dog. This is not about me. This is about my dog.
It's not. Well, first of all, it's very hard to believe that this is your dog, but you really did make him, right?
Yeah.
She's not telling a fib, Ursula. She is telling the truth. Clearly, look at her. It's all right, dear. You can go on. Talk about your friend, your Lord McBox.
Yeah. So, like, what's the deal with that? Like, what? So, like, what do you mean? Like, I can understand it if you just tell me what you mean, because I don't.
You see, darling, what you have to understand is that things that live in the higher planes, they live at all times, you know?
But, like, I just made him, like, a few weeks ago.
Oh, true, you may have made him a few weeks ago, but he has always been and will always be. Currently, his timeline is stuck where you are, but as soon as he ascends, boop, he has always been.
But ascends.
And we're gonna go from her noodling over that back to Ron. I should say Vernon. Vernon, in the time that has come, you have somehow managed to change the game from Go Fish to something that you recognize. However, you are still losing horribly, even though you're cheating. You don't really know how it happened, but it is happening.
Vernon's like sweating profusely. His hair's getting a little bit disheveled. He's like, I just
Right,
don't
so-
understand how this could have happened to me.
You're telling me that if I lay these cards down like this, it's called a straight flush. And everyone at the table is like, yes, that does seem to be right. And Vernon, of course, it has ruined your freaking hand that you have been working on. 4 aces for nothing. It's...
God damn it.
and then, so how does the dice work into this? Pipes up the turtle.
Oh, this is the win modifier. We'll say whoever rolls the highest, wins automatically. It's one of those like. Are you familiar with the game where they catch this golden ball whizzing through the air, and that's kind of the way that it ends, and you win the thing. Anyway, it's kind of like that. It's like, yeah, you can win with the cards, but the dice is just kind of like the slam dunk on top of it.
But surely that means that the cards themselves are no longer valuable.
Well, to the untrained eye, yes, but
Yes, don't
you
be
see-
so stupid, Dolphin. Well, I can't have my eyes on everything, can I?
But yes, so the cards are kind of where you start from. So let's say he's got this straight flush over here. Let's say for example that's worth 5 points, but I meanwhile have 4 aces and that's worth 4 points or something to that effect. And then let's say we
there's
roll the
points
dice
involved.
and he rolls a 3 and I roll a 6. 6 times the 4 is more than whatever I said times the 3. So I would win because of the dice modifier.
I see.
But you could still win, but better if you have higher cards. I don't understand the rules myself. This is how it's played.
No, that's all right. It is quite complex, and we love enjoying and playing new games. And let us attempt. And they go around and roll dice. And Vernon, I want you to just roll me a D100, just.
Oh God, I don't have one.
Just to see.
Hang on.
I have one filled with ducks.
That's good for you. Good. For
Oh yeah,
you.
that's the one you bought at MomoCon, right?
That is true. Thank you once again to Jinx for finding me the ducky ball.
Okay, I think this is the right one. That is a 71.
You're not gonna believe this.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 100 on my ducky ball.
I
You
don't
did
believe that.
not.
I didn't touch it afterwards. I'm sending you all a picture right now.
You're right. Nah, it's okay. I believe you.
No, I'm doing this for posterity. This is very important. I will post it in Stars What's Left of His channel.
Fucked by my own dice once again.
I mean, a 70 is not bad.
Normally, yeah.
Proof?
This is what happens when you forget that it's the
Well.
last Friday of the month for 24 hours.
Right.
Oh, that has a
so
nice
yes,
dice.
even though you have rigged your liar's dice, somehow the turtle rolls perfectly, and you do not.
Well, he musters up a little bit of, gracious loser in him. He's just like,
Well, I mean,
sometimes
I rolled
well
higher on the
played.
dice, but my cards did not give me any points, so perhaps that means you still win.
Oh, yes,
Is that
yes,
the case?
of course, that's
Is
exactly
it?
what it means. Yes.
Could you
yes,
roll me
that's,
deception, please?
Okay.
Does he get help from the animal suggesting that that's the case?
No, they're innocently suggesting this. He's taking them for
Okay.
a ride here.
You said deception?
Yes.
That's a 19.
Yeah, I thought so. And they go, oh, of course, interesting. Well, I suppose, kind sir, that means that you have won our game and thus have won all of our sardines and herrings. Yes, and the herrings, of course. And I suppose you did not lose your pound cake and your side of beef.
Oh, that's wonderful news. My friend Rathgurtha will be very excited.
Yes, indeed. Well, we should get some food in us before the night's festivities actually take place. Please, if you do see us during your eating time, feel free to come by here. Also, your friend might get sick eating that many. And you just see Redguther slowly pushing a whole cake into her mouth. Just
Oh no, she's just like
and
that.
she's like
That's
hunched
that's
over the
normal
table,
for her.
looking miserable. Just
Sad and hungry. That's Rathgurther.
That's I see. Well, if that's her usual state, then I suppose we should give her some wine?
Yes, I suppose all the
What do
pound cake
humanoids
would be a
have
little
when
bit
they're
dry.
sad? That's what ice cream. That's right. Of course. We'll send over some ice cream.
I don't remember if she's lactose intolerant or not, but okay, that would probably
I don't
be
think it
good.
would really matter to her very much at the moment.
I don't think so either.
See, I don't know why the thought Rathgurther has absolutely eaten an entire wheel of cheese at once popped into my head. I don't think that happened in canon,
That's a good
but
point.
it feels like something she would do.
It is canon, though, is the problem.
Mm.
As soon as it is said about Rathgurther, it is canon.
Oh,
So-
don't give me that. That's irresponsible.
I mean, Mildred's not here to contest that, so...
Oh no.
Again, Mildred doesn't watch the VOD. She doesn't know
Rathgurther
how
can unhinge
terrible
her
I'm
jaw
being.
like a snake, specifically to swallow entire wheels of cheese in one go.
It's cartoon logic.
Mm-hmm.
So just before the end of this rotation, we're going to see once again where our friends are. Vernon has just won a hand of cards against a shark, of all things. Emery is dancing very finely with a kind rabbit gentleman and talking about the way things are. Tim Tam has divulged her entire life story to a bunch of animals that are now treating her as though she is the kindest, sweetest deer in the world and in need of extra support. And the Lord Spark is cavorting with a bunch of ferrets, having completely lost the plot, and is instead going on wild adventures, parkouring with all of these ferrets around every obstacle they can possibly
Sparks,
find.
come on.
As ADHD as his mother is. And on this particular tableau, you hear a slight ring, and the table is set for actual dinner. And that's when we're going to take our very quick break, as we usually do at the top of the hour, and we are going to come back to the dinner party portion of the zoo.
Woo!
Don't
Hopefully it's not
Go.
on the menu.
anywhere.
afraid.
Wahoo!
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I apologize for the extra noise in the background of my mic. I had to turn my AC on. It is hot under these lights. We're back at the zoo, everybody, and everyone is starting to line up at their places for food. Obviously, those of you who were on the dance floor and otherwise are surprised, or perhaps unsurprised, to see that Tim Tam has a following already. The narwhal has to take up more than one seat. I'm so sorry, dear. And so yeah, you get there and you see all these animals sitting around a very popular Tim Tam.
Also, the cow is sitting on the raccoon.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
hey, whoa. Oh, I'm so sorry. There we go. Let's look over here. And the turtle goes over here. All the big animals are just kind of lined up right where their accessibility needs are best met. There we are, and there we go. We're gonna get this over here. And yes, you can bring yourselves over however you wish. All of the ferrets are eschew entirely sitting on anything and instead jump onto the table. And Sparks will come up right next to Tim. And then someone goes, Lord McMarks, you have a seat at the head of the table. And Sparks goes, and like slowly goes over and sits at the head of the table.
Oh.
Oh, he went at the other end with the other the ferrets?
I mean, he'd want to, but he'd also want to be near Tim.
That's fair. Good point.
There's a seat next to the head of the table that's open that Tim could sit at.
There you go, and the rabbit will take your seat then, and the toad does not go and sit over there. It's a cantankerous old toad, and it will instead sit there drinking. The goose, however, comes over and sits at the other head of the table.
So, Mr. Crab, you're a crab. What's that like?
It has been quite some time since I was asked what colonization is like. I started out life as a mollusk, actually. And I decided I wished to move around, and so I grew legs. And then one day I realized that I was angry at somebody and couldn't do anything, and so then I grew pinches.
Oh, you just did it willfully. That's very intriguing.
Did. I very much did. Isn't that lovely?
Yes, quite.
There is, like I said, food arrayed, and everyone is sitting around. I think this spider originally sits here and then moves, scuttles right up next to Emery. Hello, I don't believe we've met before. I'm Lord Scooter.
Pleasure.
Of course. And he's got like a little hat, and he goes, pink.
Oh, okay, that's cute though. I think that once again activates the cute aggression. She's just making this face like.
I was just wondering, what's it like to know the Sparks McBucks before he ascends?
I mean, he's Tim's dog. He's cute.
Right, he's owned by someone as if he's a common pet. How is that like?
Sorry, how do you know him?
Oh, he's quite famous. Quite famous among ascended beings in general, but also among us who are sort of in the midway point. Do you understand?
Actually, no. Mind explaining that to me a little bit?
You don't understand? You're part-way yourself by the look of you.
Come again?
Well, you're a lower planar being, correct? You're some sort of devil, I assume? You certainly have that sort of aura about you?
I guess, but
Well, that means you're eternal like the rest of us, and of course that means you know that Sparks McParks is nothing of the sort. And of course is much higher than we will ever be. Lofty heights and all that. Quite honored to have him suddenly show up at the zoo with his offerings like this.
Offerings?
Well, all of you, yes. This is the zoo, you understand. We come here to see exotic and new specimens. and we didn't expect Lord Srax to bring his own menagerie, of course, but we're not complaining, are we?
Sure. Let me just make sure. When you say offerings, you don't mean like... You mean like observing and not...
Well, yes, what else would I mean?
Well, you know, sometimes when you hear the word offering, you think like sacrifice or something.
Oh,
and I just...
No!
Okay,
do you think we are elves? No!
Well, okay.
Listen...
she is an elf, though! It's like, okay, all right.
Listen,
I meant orcs.
Listen, the other humanoids in the Feywild, they're quite a sight indeed, and they do indeed take that sort of thing sometimes. But we're much more evolved here, and some of the other people, are, like the narwhal's, like, yes, quite so, quite so.
Right, just making sure that we're all on the same page and that we are going to get out of this alive.
Well, yes. We would deny others the chance to come by and view the magnificence of all of you creatures here. You know how rare it is to sometimes come and see a humanoid. Oh, it's quite a sight sometimes for those of us who live in the animal part of the Feywild, anyway.
So Sparks is like a what? Like a god or something?
Well, not yet, I suppose, but I mean, and also yes, at the same time, of course, because well, metaphysics is a little hard to explain to a humanoid. Are you sure you don't have any lower plane knowledge jangling about your noodle?
I wasn't exactly raised being super familiar with that kind of thing, I suppose is one way to put it.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, I mean, if that's the case, I mean, you still might have a better time understanding it than your companions, I suppose, given that almost none of them are ascended beings in general. Or I suppose descended in your case. A little bit of humor. You lower planes.
She is glaring at the spider.
It takes off his little cap. He's like, oh, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to offend. Like, rubs the little palms together, like, oh, I'm sorry.
Cute aggression.
Alright, okay, so... The ascended beings live outside of time, generally speaking. The Feywild mimics a little bit of that, of course. Time passes differently here, and so for many outside of the Feywild, it certainly seems as though we live forever, doesn't it? I've been told, anyway, I take very few vacations to the mortal plane. They keep screaming about giant spiders and trying to stab me every time I go over there, so I stay mostly in here these days.
Okay. Go on.
Right. So anyways, living outside of time means that you exist at every point in time to a mortal, anyway. Now, they have their beginnings, of course. For instance, as you can see, this quaint shell, little Sparksman Sparks over here, has not quite ascended yet. But at some point he will, and that will be his start. And, I mean, unless, of course, he's somehow destroyed before that happens, which shouldn't, because he exists currently as a working god, and so that usually means that nothing has happened. Otherwise, the natural order would be thrown off, you see.
Right. So, I guess I'm just confused, because Tim made him in, like, a lab, I thought.
Yes.
How?
Isn't it interesting? Wait, do you know the god Kelimvor? That's his name.
Briefly. Yeah.
Yes, you do know him. He's one of the gods of death.
Yeah.
Well, Kelimvor was a human at one point. An adventurer, much like some of the other human companions might be. And at some point, he ascended because he saw a need that was not being filled by the current godhood. And so he became a god. But the funny thing is once he became a god, he had always been one. And of course, it blew his little mortal mind for a few moments before he got his full godhood status. He went quite insane in that first few seconds. But he got over it. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, poor Mistra had a much worse time. When the first Mistra was murdered and the spell plague happened, when the new Mistra took over, she had such a crisis of faith that she believed she was just Mistra again. And so we had two Mistras existing at the same time for a very brief stretch. And then, of course, everything sorted itself out, and now there's only one.
She was just like sipping her wine and just like looking straight ahead.
I'm so sorry, it's usually this sort of thing is quite much more amusing than
I guess I just haven't given much thought to gods. And she just takes a long sip of her wine.
really. Well, it's just, again, being a lower plane, being yourself, and also you have two deities in your party. Like, how do you not think about these things?
I think she ponders too, and then she's like, do we know that Vernon's thing is a god, or as like in character do we know this, or?
I mean, you know that it is a very powerful extraplanar being. You have no idea exactly of its status.
So just to be clear, we're talking about Sparks and Shifty with a mustache over there?
Yes, the rather vacant one.
You can see him twirling his forks. Like he's taking another fork and he's just twirling them like
Just
for fun. Yeah.
all the other
vacant,
party
maybe.
guests are like, yes. Fingers,
vacant,
how quaint.
Lord.
I mean, also your companion who was shoveling food in the corner over there. Oh, she's still over there. Regardless, she's also not exactly a standard humanoid either. You can smell the whole extraplanar, multidimensional thing on her, of course.
What do you mean?
Well, she's not exactly in one place only, is she? Look at her.
You're gonna
You
have
know
to
what?
explain that to me, Legs.
And you have these senses. Are you all right? Have you quite gotten? I mean, I know you weren't raised there, but certainly you have your senses. As a lower plane being, you should be able to see these things.
Can I?
You have not ever attempted to plumb the depths of your current body.
I mean, she's tried to get wingies, but that's about all she knows.
Yes,
Would
exactly.
she-
So very similar to that. Don't give me that look. So I recognize that it was a terrible sentence the second I said it. Yes, but very similar to the wingies. You could attempt to make another go with your eyes this time.
Sure, what would that roll be?
Oh, make me a charisma saving throw.
Oh, I'm good at those. This was a lie, chat. Oh, that's not bad though. This is 18.
An 18. Briefly reconnecting with the idea that you are inhabiting not the body of a tiefling, but the body of a devil. You are reminded of the fact that this body probably has more tools than you're thinking it does. For a moment, you activate True Sight. And you
Oh.
are seeing along the table of a bunch of beings that are, of course, more powerful than you thought they were. There is at least 3 archfey sitting with you right now. You can, of course, see the almost blinding aura around Sparks. The raw potential that's in his body is almost uncontainable by the metal skin that's around him. Similarly, around Tim, you can see... Again, this is hard because of the new sense. But the word that comes to your mind when you look at Tim is utterly unique. As opposed to other people who might have others in other various dimensions of existence. You think that you're looking at the only Tim Tam in all of the multiverse.
Huh.
You gaze over at your companion, Vernon, and see that aside from being vacant, you see that he is... The word you get is stuffed. It's
Like
like
a
there is
crib?
something. It's like something like in like he is way more than he appears to be, but he like so much so that he probably doesn't know it because it can't happen that way. You know, like stuffing. Like it's as though something the actual size of the actual great crab decided to stuff itself into a 6'2" man, and it is not working well. It's you know, like when you have like a little tiny suit for like a little tiny doll, and you try to get into it, and all you can do is put your finger in it. You know, like that's sort of what's
So
going
Vernon
on.
is fat man in a little coat. Got it.
Yeah, very funny, very good stuff.
Chris Farley, R.I.P.
Exactly. God. And then of course you gaze over at Rathgurther, and you just see a lot. It's like your vision is blurred for a minute, and there's just a bunch of Rathgurthers all like shoveling food into their mouth at various stages of existence. And yeah, it's just there is so much to Rathgurther in sort of the opposite way as it is to Vernon. Nothing is stuffing itself into Rathgurther. It's like whatever Rathgurther is trying to stuff itself into reality.
Huh. That's interesting.
I am sorry to bring up such deficiencies in your physical makeup, dearie. I'm so sorry. I just assumed that last time we had a devil here, they could see everything. They were terrified.
What else could they do?
Devils? Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm no expert, but I do know that as the type of beings they are, they should do this and that. They're functionally immortal because you can't kill a devil outside of the hells, of course. You should be able to make deals in contracts that are magically binding in a very similar way to us Faefolk can. Let's see here. That also incidentally gives you the sort of magical prowess to do almost anything you'd like. A little trick they picked up from the night hags, of course. The ability to heal pretty much any injury that you need, again, as long as you're outside of the hells. Some have the ability to polymorph quite a bit. You know, I think that's all I know of, anyway.
Well, that's very enlightening. And she's just thinking to herself, I have some experimenting to do when we get home.
Yes, well, you're quite welcome. And we're going to swap over real quick to Tim Tam, who is sitting at, of course, the right hand of God, as it were. And so...
The right paw.
The right paw. And so you have a bunch of people over here, and the cow is like, oh, hello, Big Box. You're quite the conversationalist indeed. Yes.
Yeah, how is Sparks taking this? Does he seem to be like...
If he could sweat, he would be.
Oh.
Is he just like panting?
Yes, indeed.
So yeah, how are the animals that she had told this story to? Are they still like worried, or are they like asking her questions, or like?
Yeah, well, they're mostly like, "You need more food, dearie. Yes, please have some more of this. You look like you're a twig yourself. Here, please, eat." And they're like giving you like blankets and stuff, and they're just like, "Hey, here you go."
I mean, I'm okay. Again, I just want to make sure my dog's okay and that he's like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, of course he's okay.
When you say like ascend, like what does that mean? Like I don't know anything about how that works.
Oh, I see. You're a humanoid. You don't quite get it. He is not going to literally fly. Well, I mean, I suppose he could, but he might not literally.
Yeah, I have some schematics for like wings and stuff, but
And Sparks looks over at you.
would you like that? So, I guess the question is like, if you know that that's gonna happen, do you know like when or how? Like, if you
Well, I'm so
how do
sorry.
you-
My companions are a little bit not well versed in metaphysics. Please allow me, if you would. I have seen much of the multiverse. So let us begin with the idea that the gods are timeless. And he basically says the same thing that the spider said about the gods being timeless, except in a funny, rougher French accent. And then he goes, and so, but you have to remember, these are only potentialities, eh? So that means that there's still a possibility that young Sparks here, pardon me for saying so, Lord Sparks, but might not make it all the way to Ascension. You know?
but what? So like, is it gonna happen or not?
Well, right now, it has happened, and will always have happened. Potentially such a strange thing. It can change sometimes when introduced with new strands of faith. For instance, all of your friends are touched in some way by some unique changing thing. If any of their paths were to negatively affect Lord Sparks' path, then he might not actually ascend.
Is that something that can happen?
Sure. Sure, of course. You know, there were several attempts to replace the old god of death before the Raven Queen got her chance. And they all succeeded for the first little while, and then when the time came, boop, they turned inside out.
I said, what? Is Sparks gonna turn inside out?
Oh, no! Well, they were trying a very dangerous, difficult spell, and they were wizards, and they were humanoids, so they don't...
Is he replacing another god? Do we have to kill a god I don't want to do that.
Oh! Hey,
She just like fully breaks down.
you are an absolute buffoon, my dear. Please, and the cow like reaches a hoof over the table and like knocks over a pie and a bunch of stuff. Please. It's all right. Calm down. No. Sparks won't be turning inside out because Sparks isn't ascending by way of dangerous magical artifice. No. He's ascending because he is indeed the goodest boy. He's quite the inspiration for all of us animal folk. Sparks like sits up a little bit at that. He's like, okay.
Is that how that works? Is that
For him it does, yes. He's
like,
the
how
very
did
first living automaton.
Oh, like the first ever?
Yes. And again, you are aware that there are indeed already other living automatons. Remember what we said about the way time works for the material.
I know. It just like I understand. It just is. It doesn't.
Yes. It is hard. It is indeed. We live in the Feywild, so of course it's much easier for us to comprehend this sort of thing. But no, and more importantly, the type of god he's going to become doesn't require the death of another. They vote in new gods every other while where he's going, so...
So he's just gonna... So, like, I made real life and then he's gonna win an election and that's all he needs to become a god?
Oh, no, he will have to ascend first, but his place will be kept until that point by another.
So, that's a lot of responsibility for me to make sure
you.
he... Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about it. You've already done your part.
Oh. Does that mean that, like, I'm... She's, like, fully, like...
Disassociating.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
I
if
mean,
I've already done my part, does he like have to leave?
Oh, I don't know the full story actually of when Sparks decides to move on. You see, um, it is a certain point in the history of his material shell here, we don't know much about that particular side of the story. But essentially, before he ascends, the plane of law is very much devoid of the automata process. It's ruled over by that silly silver dragon and his platinum. Pardon me, lest I be struck down by the god of law. But regardless, until that point, it's ruled over by him, and then, of course, suddenly, McInnes pops into existence, and of course has always existed, because time is a relative concept. And so then there's Sparks. Well, he'll be called Alpha at that point, I believe, because of course he's the first.
Huh. Okay.
Oh, well, you took that very well.
Yeah, can you pass the pie, please?
Since she puts both her hooves and, like, breaks the pie into, like, 4 pieces and, like, crushes it a little bit, and it slides the goop towards you.
Perfect. Tim just shoves it in her mouth.
My goodness. Fingers, what a concept. And then over on the other side of the table, we have Vernon. And Vernon is once again amazing everyone with his dexterous hands and how they are able to do things like grasp a cup properly. It is, incidentally, these animals are literally making a gigantic mess when they eat. Like, the shark has to, like, slam his face into the table and roll it around a little bit to get food in it. And, look, the snapping turtle keeps, like, eating parts of the table. Yeah. You know, like,
Good lord.
it's a good table for this particular dinner. Very good job, Lord Goose. It's Honkington. Yes, Honkington, of course.
Vernon's just like thinking we should make something to make it easier for these folks to eat.
The duck or the goose, pardon me, the goose, incidentally, turns to you and is, of course, very austere, very, very proper and upright. For a goose, you think it's probably one of the most noble-looking geese you have ever seen in your life.
Yes, of course.
Hello, I am Lord Honkington, the Fourth Esquire.
The pleasure's all mine. Thank you. Thank you for having me and my friends and all.
You speak a bit of goose. I can catch it in your accent.
Yes, I speak of much goose all the time. Ask my friends.
Guys, I want you to recognize how many characters I'm doing on screen here.
You did this to yourself. I will pity none of this.
I'm not saying pity. I'm saying I deserve a goddamn Emmy.
True. I'm pretty sure the nomination window is open, so. Yes,
best supporting actor in all roles.
Playing the role of the turtle and the shark and the crab and the narwhal
and the goose and the spider and the ferrets and
all 4 of them before everybody else took over.
Right. And so, indeed, this conversation with the goose goes on, and it's like, so, I'm quite surprised you chose to appear here as you did and not in a form more suited to yourself.
Whatever do you mean?
Well, I believe you were supposed to be looking something a little bit more akin to my friend over here. And the crab raises a glass in its claws, and it immediately snaps the flute and bursts it all over itself. It's like she's like,
well, I didn't want anybody to be, embarrassed and then have to change, So,
yes,
I'm
certainly.
Yes, you all are aware of who I am, and that's totally fine.
Of Of course, we're just... I mean, you coming with Lord Sparks. For a second, we thought you were one of the offerings until you went and played games with our friend Shark over here. Although obviously he prefers his other monikers, but between you and me, he always answers to Shark.
Well, it is fitting for somebody who's so well versed at card games,
Why is that?
On my plane, we have a thing called a card shark. I don't really know what it is, but yes.
And he flaps his wings together.
Yes.
Shark, you'll never believe this. You are a joke on the material plane involving cunning wordplay with your namesake. And then he's like, what? And then the Honkington absolutely explains the card shark thing. And then the shark goes, and like slams onto the table a couple of times.
Yes,
like
I'm glad that you
Vernon
think
is
it's
having
also
a
humorous.
pleasant dinner party with a bunch of very weird animal features. And meanwhile, everyone else is having a crisis. Emery is like discovering parts of her devil body. Tim Tam is at a loss for words about her god dog. And in the corner, Rathgurther is disassociating while eating everything nearby.
Ain't that just the way?
Yep. Story of my life.
Isn't that just this whole game, though?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. The bell dings once more. Yes, finally, the event of the evening. Lord Honkington gets up. He pops a little bit and preens for half a second. All right, everyone, it is time for the real reason we are here. Please, every one of us, the guests and offerings included, find a dance partner. We are going to crown the belle of the ball.
Oh my god.
And indeed, all of you could try and pick a dance partner with whom you think would be the finest dancer.
I mean, Tim is picking Sparks, obviously.
Obviously. Honkington leans into Vernon. Your friend over there, who seems to be eating all of her feelings, would it be best to just leave her to do that instead of forcing her to dance? I feel she might be ill if we forced her.
Yes, I feel that would probably be the smartest move, but
My God, if I wasn't supposed to be judging this competition, I dare say your accent alone is making me wish I could dance like a goose
well,
of
thank
about
you.
100 years lesser.
I appreciate that. It took a very long time for me to learn goose.
Well, you speak it well. We are 2 years into this campaign, everybody.
2.5.
Yeah, true.
So this is like a dance competition, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that has
I need to take my position.
That has activated perhaps the competitive mode. Emery absolutely knows how to ballroom dance.
Mm-hmm. Very much.
And she's looking around at the animals and she's like,
Where did I put that bear? Bear's over here. There you go. Bear should be over here somewhere.
Yeah. I almost think it's just like, okay, I don't know how animals dance. I did the thing with the rabbit earlier. That was weird. I think she looks at Vernon. If Rathgurther's busy, I legit think she looks at Vernon and just kind of like grabs him. Is like, hey, you know how to dance?
Sure. I know the
Well,
Elaine.
Cool. What is that?
Let me show you.
Okay.
It's funny, Vernon, because you would have absolutely had to know how to dance to charm your way into some of these banquets that you've conned.
Oh, well then yes, of course. Of course I have like years and years of experience.
Cool, you're with me. We're winning this shit.
Okay.
Vernon in a tux, Emery in a slit dress. and Tim Tam and Sparks.
As long as I don't trip over my many
This
legs.
is partly her keeping an eye on him so he doesn't do anything stupid.
Now, why would you think that I would do anything stupid?
I don't know. Maybe the entire 2.5 years of this campaign.
Scout, it has been quite some time since I have taken to the dance floor. Would you like to come with me? Oh, yes, of course. I'm just playing with my little action figures at this point. Give me a second.
They have a Lake Placid relationship.
Someone is gonna clip this bit and be like, watch Jay go, ah, yes, I would love to dance with you. Oh, thank you.
Ho ho ho, etc.
Then the bear's gonna dance. Bear's gonna dance with the narwhal. And the spider's gonna dance with the raccoon. Would you like to dance with me? It's been quite the time anyway. I haven't danced the two-step in some time. Yeah, what the hell ever. Let's go. And then finally, the toad makes his way onto the dance floor and sits there alone.
Oh.
All right, everybody. The first song kicks up, and it is very much like this sort of thing with a little tiny bit of pep and ceremony to it. I think some sort of Sousa piece. Very much like a march. I want you all to make me performance checks. Now, Ron and Emery technically have experience in this, but I'm not going to give you advantage because that would seem cruel. Tim, however, I'm going to probably have to give disadvantage because I don't know if you've danced before.
I would like to cast Enhance Ability on myself to cancel that out.
Yes, of course. Absolutely.
So just a flat roll then?
Just a flat roll.
Sparks is a god. Can he
Not
help
a god
me?
yet. Can't dance with potential, my friend.
Oh my god. Well.
So you know what my charisma modifier is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my total is a -2.
I rolled a 16, so.
17.
That's one -3.
Beautiful. Out of everyone on the floor, the only people to keep pace with Emery and Vernon are the crocodile and the cow, and the frog, the toad, pardon me, who begins dancing very well for someone doing it solo. However,
oh my god, he's doing the Macarena.
Tim, you get out on the floor, and you're looking around at everyone dancing around, and you might be a little bit trepidatious. And I think Sparks can sense that you're nervous, and you know that he's nervous. But he looks at you, and he just sits down in front of you, and you get ready to dance. And instead, he jumps on you and forces you onto the ground, and like does this little dog thing, just to cheer you up. And so for this round, instead, I'm just going to because you rolled so low, I'm going to say that Sparks gives you an inspiration that he was holding on to for next round.
Thank you.
So, obviously, for that song, Emery and Vernon actually work very well together. I have to imagine Emery is leading, but please correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. She's
for
just
sure.
like, okay, where did you do you actually know how to dance, or
Yes, of course I do.
why are you doing that voice?
I don't know. I just got stuck doing it. I was talking to the goose, and that's how he talks. And I just kind of mimic people's voices sometimes.
Yeah.
Right, well,
Yes.
I say just follow my lead. I don't know about you, but I kind of want to win this.
Yeah.
Had a shit day.
Absolutely. Yes. Let's show these losers how it's done.
And I'm just like whisking him around.
Whoa!
Yeah, absolutely. Very good. The next one starts off, and it is faster. It is more upbeat. It is a jovial tune, really jaunty, something you can jump to, and some of them are already looking a little bit less familiar with it. The raccoon likes it, but obviously the spider is having a little bit of a hard time. Everyone, once again, roll me your checks with the advancements that you have.
Performance. Oh, that's not as good. 12.
I got a 25.
3.
3, beautiful. I think you and Sparks begin just like playing. So it's less of a dance and more of like just having a fun time with your buddy on the dance floor.
Which, like,
But, yeah,
is fine.
it
Dancing
is.
is about having fun.
Yeah.
It is. Emery, you lose your track of things because this is not, you haven't danced at this sort of a thing since you were like a teenager.
Mhm.
And so you're kind of like hit with it unexpectedly. And then Vernon, you immediately take over and you dance very competently, and that covers a lot of Emery's slip-ups here. And so there's that. And I think for both pairs, it's for a moment as though there's no one else on the dance floor. It is just you friends enjoying a time together, dancing in this weird fayish ballroom together. And then off in the corner, the only one of these animals that are really doing very well with this is the frog, who is tearing it up. He's hitting the gritty. He's doing well. This toad is so good at this, guys. Man, you see why he comes now.
Yeah, I see why he's here all the time.
Mm-hmm. And then
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go for it. What's
Can I, in lieu of making another performance check, instead like check out this frog?
check it out?
Yeah, like see, like this frog is really good at this. Is there something up with the frog?
Oh, and you can just make that now before the next.
What would that be? Insight?
Yeah, it'd be insight, sure. You can use perception if you wanted to.
That is my second nat 1 of the evening, afternoon, whatever time it is.
Well, no, you're just an amazing toad. He is doing things that toads are just. You think you should probably teach some real material plane toads to dance like this because it would be very fun.
Can I? No, I'm not going to. Never mind.
Yeah. I think before we hit the very final bit, I will indeed pop over and see what Rapgurther is doing. She has stopped eating because I think even she has hit her limit at this point. And just kind of sitting here, and then she turns around on her chair and she watches everyone kind of having a good time. I don't want to claim to know what is going through Rapgurther's head because that is Mildred's provenance here, but I think, or I would like to think, that she catches sight of her friends kind of getting into this and maybe having like a genuine moment of some joy between all of each other for the first time in quite some time. And I think for half a moment she probably is like, who the fuck cares about the mushroom? This is cool. But once again, Mildred, if you ever watch this, please feel free to correct me. And then the final song kicks up, and it is sort of a slow dance. It is a nice little sort of intimate piece. And all of them are getting in close together. And at this point, the toad is like, nah, and like goes back to like his drinking stool. And all of them, the animals this time are doing fairly well. All of you can, of course, do your John Toad Volta. I'm so sorry. I know I'm not supposed to be watching chat while I do this.
Tim, I see that. I see that roll, Tim. I see that. Oh no!
Oh no.
I just rolled a 1 again.
I also
no.
rolled a 1 again.
Yeah, but I saw that with the modifiers, and so my
I rolled a 21.
Rolling
So.
digital dice.
Huh?
You know that D&D Beyond has it out for us. Do you not have
That is
physical
true.
dice to roll?
Me? No, I do, just not up here.
Steam. Sparks gave you an inspiration. You get to re-roll something.
I used it last time.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, I've gotten a -2, a 3, and another -2. Those are my 3 rolls, one of them with advantage.
Oofa. I don't know. This is the capstone event. That's rough. Maybe I should roll for Sparks this time. What did you roll, Vernon?
21.
Whew.
Once again, covering the one here. I think Emery is like really thrown off by the shift in tone. And I think Vernon
He's like, oh shit, it's a slow dance.
Oh no.
And I think Vernon, you just kind of and again, forgive me for taking the wheel here for half a second, but I think you just kind of take over and dance very very well and charmingly in this particular moment.
Yes,
Maybe
that's
Emery
definitely
even
a Vernon
forgets that
thing.
you're an idiot for a half a minute. I love you, buddy.
What I lack in brains, I make up for on the dance floor.
In
Apparently,
style.
we are seeing this in real
That's
time.
right. I am going to roll for Sparks. I haven't been doing that this time. I should have probably because he is also your partner, but okay, DM dice.
You rolled a 100 earlier.
I did
You
roll
owe us.
100 earlier. Rolled a 7. That does not cover.
Woo.
I think the two of you just kind of continue being together on this dance floor instead of actually dancing.
We've just forgotten that dancing is what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. And so, as the dance ends, Honkington goes, I proclaim the winners to be young Miss Emery Black and Vernon Fleming. And everyone is like, yes, yes, yes. And the clapping persists, and everyone is kind of a little sweaty from dancing and enjoying what has happened this evening in a relatively good style. The zoo has absolutely concluded. And as the sound of roaring applause and many animals clinking dishes and laughing together, Tim, you're looking at Sparks, and you're remembering a dream you had, where he thanked you for calling him Sparks one last time. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we are going to leave it for this month.
So sad.
What do we get for winning?
Yeah.
That's a good question, and I will have to give it to you.
I will
next time.
take my crab form back, please. Thank you.
I mean, that's probably doable. We'll have to see. Regardless, that's what we're doing for today, which means that we are about to take a very, very short break in which we come back afterwards and answer all of your burning questions. Again, as is tradition, the primary one is likely to be, Jay, what the fuck? So I am going to... I like to inflict pain. We're gonna dip out for a good like 5-ish minutes. We're gonna stretch, get our drinks again, and as well should all of you. Even though we did just do some dancing, and we are going to instead meet you back here on the couch in about 5 minutes. See you then. I'm just gonna keep this music up because I love this music.
All right.
And I'm gonna have not a lot of chances to use it in the future. So
That's true.
how we do? Welcome back, first of all, everybody, to the couch talk, table talk. It's a table talk. Traditionally, it's called table talk, but we're on a couch because it's comfier, and I have my fancy chair, which I enjoy having.
Maybe we'll have the coffee table talk.
Indeed. Wow, my green screen is not having it today, huh? Anyways, regardless, welcome to the section where we talk about your questions and questions to each other about any episode, but obviously most people are probably going to have questions about this episode. It's what happens. To ask a question, please, as you can see in chat, our lovely mod Fox said, remember to put question in big bold letters in front of your question, and I will attempt to. It makes it easier for me to find in the chat. I used to have a little thing that would find it for me, but that bot is sadly dead now, so I have to do it myself. Rip, I wish I was lazier. Anyways, let's start off. We do have some questions already coming in. However, does anyone on the couch have a question first?
If you were a fantasy animal at a fancy party, what animal would you be?
Oh, that's a good question.
All of them is my answer.
That's cheating.
A possum.
Awesome.
That
I would
tracks.
probably, yeah, I'd probably be the golden retriever sitting in the corner that everybody like crowds around and stuff.
Aw, cute.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I'm just here.
Let's see.
Jay, what fancy animal would you be?
I said all of them. I was literally just all of them.
Oh, that's cheating still.
It's the truth. It's what happens. Okay. I enjoy it. Wait, it's like, what animal will you be?
Ostrich. Long leggies. For
Long
dancing.
leggies? I see.
Long leggies for dancing.
That makes sense. You yourself have long ostrich-like legs.
It's true.
Yeah. Let's see here. Supernova Quote Blade asks, the first question is why? Second, Jay, of all the animals included in today's session, which one did you enjoy making a voice for the most? Okay. First of all, I always loved doing like the little guy, the little like New Yorker sort of like raccoon. Any like little scrungly guy. Hey, listen, I do this for rats. I do this for raccoons. I do this for possums. Listen, actually, that's not true. For possums, I will absolutely be doing a Virginian accent. But regardless, I love those. However, Lady Honkington is 100% what I'm gonna go with here. I love it. You know,
I will literally be doing that goose voice for the rest of the day. I hope you know that. Somebody's gonna say like something to me. They're gonna ask me a question. I'll be like, yes, of course.
Yes.
Honk.
I love ridiculous Regency era stuff. We got a comment from Men and Matt. That's not a question, but I'll read it off. I get this feeling from What's Left of Us a lot, but this episode in particular felt very Saturday morning cartoon at times, and you love it. Absolutely. I love I was saying before break, I did my signature thing. I put in a bunch of ridiculous fun stuff, and then I tainted it with heartbreak and ominous feelings.
Just like Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
The good ones. IDK asks, question for everyone. What, how, and why did you obtain your first D20?
Ooh.
That's a good story.
I don't actually remember.
I mean, like for a lot of us, it would probably happenstance, right? Because I know,
Yeah.
I don't remember my first one, but I remember how I got it, and that was a friend gave me one of their old ones because I had started playing D&D and didn't have my own dice, and so they were like, "Here, take this one. It's old, and I don't want it anymore." I was like, "Okay." So that's. I don't even think I have it anymore. I think because I didn't have like a dice bag back then, and so I think I probably threw it in my like bag of D&D stuff. And then, like, that was in high school, so who knows where that bag is now. I have the books. I don't have anything else.
I think I bought my brother a set at a game store in Savannah, Georgia, and I may have also bought a set for myself at the time because this was when I was in college. And like my friends all played D&D long before I ever started. So I remember what it looks like. I should still have it. I've never gotten rid of a set. It's like this opaque purple with like dark swirls in it. I forget what color the lettering is. But I still have it. It's got to be with all my other dice. But yeah, I don't remember exactly when I got it. It would have been in college probably, but I don't think I actually used it for a long time.
This is the first D20 I ever got, and I got it with the Dungeons and Dragons like starter set.
Starter set?
Yeah. My fiance got it for me for my birthday one year. I think it was like maybe just after I started doing this one. I was like, I want to learn more about this game or something. And yeah, so that's where I got him from.
So Ron's is recent enough that he can remember and have it still.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know the first time that I ever played D&D, I used my dad's dice because my dad had like a shit ton of dice because he was one of the people who like grew up with D&D, like played the original editions and stuff. But the first set that I ever bought was when my husband and I started playing when we were in graduate school. And I remember I wanted something that was like cool and edgy. And so it was this cool sort of like marbled black set that I think I still have, but I don't use because I like to get a different set for every new character that I play. And I don't play very many like dark, edgy characters. And so that dice set did not seem to match very many of my characters. So I don't use it anymore, but I think that I still have it somewhere, maybe.
Nice.
Also, can we turn the music down? Because my ADHD brain is like...
Oh, no. I will turn it down. Hold on. How's
you.
that? I don't know if anyone else will hear it now, but it's fine.
It's just like it keeps getting quieter and then louder and then quieter and then louder again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is a string quartet with swells and stuff. So
damn those.
So you just don't appreciate the culture, Star.
I appreciate not having violin music blasted into my earballs. Snark-a-tart.
Let's see here. Question from Schleps. So in the zoo, outside of regular time, Sparks' potential is visible but not realized. Does that mean they need to return to the regular time for him to ascend? I mean, time is still affecting the Feywild, just differently from the material plane, right? What they were really saying there is that Sparks' potential is unrealized until he ascends. And so it is up in the air until that point. Meaning I can viciously murder our friend Dog here, and it might not happen. I won't, because I will be roundly murdered by all of my players. But such is the point. I just wanted to give an example. Oh. Question: who was surprised by the fact that Jay actually did not screw with any players for once? Victor. I mean, I kind of screwed with players a little bit. I forced them to have a nice time.
Suspicious of you and your bullshit.
I'm
munching on my goldfish.
I gave you a scene with that not only allowed Emery to feel her power for like a minute, but also, and I do mean her powerful drip. And I also gave you a scene with Sparks playing with ferrets. This is the best TTRPG actual play on the internet right now.
Hear that, Critical Role? You hear that, Dimension 20? Hear that, everybody else?
We're calling you out.
Come at me, Mercer.
We're starting beef.
Come at me, Lee Mulligan.
Yeah.
Wait,
no, seriously, come on our show, please.
Actually, it would just be Mulligan, because Lee is not his hyphenated last name, I don't think. Regardless. Apologize for nomenclature mistakes while I'm calling you out. He's never gonna see this. It's fine. Question from Med and Matt: do any of the characters remember agreeing not to eat anything when they entered the circus?
As soon as I saw that banquet of food, I immediately remembered and decided, fuck it. I don't give a shit anyway.
Mine's not a food.
Sometimes you gotta live a little, even if it means you're gonna die a little.
Listen, Emery just learned that she is potentially pseudo-immortal as long as she doesn't go back to hell. She could wreck this place on the way out.
Maybe. You never know. A question for Jay. Do you know where Sparks will ascend, or are you planning to wing it for a good story? Okay. I don't often talk about how my story writing works. I tend to craft moments as the players give me opportunities, and I hold on to those moments until they are good to throw into context. This means that I can very quickly adapt it to a scene, even if the scene isn't quite what I envisioned it to be, as long as it's appropriate. This means also very rarely do I have a scene in mind that has to be thrown out wholesale. It does happen still. Obviously, players will make decisions that will change the way I'm doing things. But, for instance, with Sparks' general ascension, I actually do have a scene. And it is, of course, heartbreaking, and I will make literally everyone at the table cry because that's the whole point of it. But will it happen like that? Who could say? And I don't know when it's going to happen because I like it to be a surprise to even me. So we'll see what happens. It has a couple of... Basically, I have a couple of qualifiers. Oh, cat. Cat.
It's causing trouble.
And so that's generally how I do big plot points. I have the way things should work according to the way my universe works. And other than that, I want to make sure that the player's choices matter for where it is, where it's appropriate. Because I'm nothing if not appropriate. Jared Sadewater is asking a question, and before I read it aloud even, bone to pick with you. 100 memberships?
Whoa.
In one stream?
Jared.
No. Now you
Listen.
just have to put on the reverb whenever you say his name. That's all.
He's at it again!
Hold on. I got this.
Oh boy.
Boy. Jared. Jared.
Are you supposed to have voice effects on?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Thank
I'm
you.
not hearing it.
Well, you know what? My system failed me at the last moment. But whatever. You get the
It still
point.
sounded sinister.
Thank you very much, Jared. We appreciate you so much. Jared is lovely. Everyone thank Jared, please.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you, Jared.
Putting us all through college.
D&D school.
But Jared is asking, what animal do you wish was at the ball but wasn't?
Surprised you didn't put a Quetzalcoatlus in there just to fuck with me.
He's got
that's
feet.
true.
He got human feet. That ain't right.
Got people feet. What the
His
fuck's
body
up with
built
that?
wrong.
Why's he got people feet? Hate it. Bad
I
shape.
think a horse would have been funny.
A horse? Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have put Horse Master in there.
No! I knew you were going to say
Yeah.
that. As soon as Zoe said horse, I'm like, you better not fucking bring up Horse Master. And then you did. Fucking hell.
Horse Master.
We need to explain what Horse Master is.
Horse Master is a perfectly normal centaur that's in the Tailspire kit. It's in the regular Tailspire model, so it's a perfectly normal centaur. And he watches over the horses of Hardbuckler and other various animals that live in the stable. And he is a fine companion.
No.
For anyone who wants to know,
you two, do you guys know what has he inflicted this character upon you guys?
Horsemaster, yeah.
Okay, so Zoe's the only Zoe. I'm gonna DM you a picture of Horsemaster.
For those of you who want to know what it is, look up Tailspire's reverse centaur model, and you'll see.
He wears Crocs.
I don't know why his sneakers. First of all, sneakers, because he's got to go fast. But second of all, they shouldn't call it a reverse centaur because he's perfectly normal. He's a perfectly normal centaur. He's half horse, half man.
Yeah,
that's a centaur. Yeah.
This is not the exact same one because he does have his little toesies out, but there, I have DM'd it to you.
That's pretty much the universal reaction, though. Yeah.
It's
I don't
Horsemaster.
like it.
He's helpful.
I don't like it. I
And he's
don't like it.
lovely, and everyone else in the campaign loves him. And Star has
No.
an unreasonable anger at him.
I
He
don't
keeps
like it.
bringing this model up when we play in our Sunday game, and I hate Horsemaster.
I don't like it.
Incidentally, this would be a great time to announce my my future collaboration where we all play as Horsemasters.
No, I mean nay.
See,
You're already
No.
halfway there. You're being turned as we speak.
Oh God,
Victor-
it's
Victor-
metamorphosis.
Dead Chrono Up Jail again, asking question for Jay. How did you resist the urge to put a llama in? I really fucking should have. I didn't know. I don't know why. That would have been really funny to have Emery like leap at this llama at a fancy party and him to go, oh my word. And then do that. Amazing.
I was
Amazing
kind of
stuff.
like thinking where like was the Fey Raptor Lord thing, you know, that like I dragged into the time space continuum. Was that there at that party when Emery had the true sight and like was able to see, you know?
Yeah, did Emery see anything important in there?
About, sorry, what? Where?
Just like any of you said there were a couple Archfey, and I had
There
True
are,
Sight
yeah.
for a hot sec.
Yeah.
Anybody we'd need to be worried about?
I mean, the goose was an archfey.
Oh,
Was the crocodile.
oh boy.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, following up on that, Emery is absolutely just going to have solo training boot camp when we get back to the house. She is going to try and learn how to heal herself. She's going to attempt polymorph, and it will probably go badly. She is going to get
Going to
her
learn how to
fucking
dance.
wingies.
Wingies.
God damn it. I think she probably wouldn't try polymorph because she saw what happened with the wingies and how they got stuck, kind of half-baked, as it were. And so she's like, I don't want to get stuck as like a half a turtle or some shit.
Maybe. Have a turtle.
Mhm.
Question, not a real question from Victor Chrono Up Jail. The only reason I'm reading this is because I want it as well. I want to say clearly to any artist for putting drawings of Emery in that dress, get some with Vernon as well. Absolutely. We need that seed. It's a beautiful
In that
seed.
dress?
Yeah, obviously.
I mean, Vernon
Listen,
was in a tux, but I mean, who
As-
wore-
Yeah,
I-
he wasn't. Doug.
As I was saying during break, if
With a
you think
monocle.
that I haven't already drawn that, you don't know me. I will be
Yes,
posting it in the Discord
it was
later.
very fast, yes. Question from Road School. Hi, honey. Would you run a game of Sparks and his 4 ferrets? We talked about this at break. We saw someone in chat bring it up as an option. My wife adores it immediately, and I think it's a good idea. Maybe I do have to run a game with the mods at some point, so maybe like a little one shot where Sparks has to run around with his
Ooh.
ferret buddies in that ball would be very funny. We shall see. We shall see if I can figure that out. We are coming up to a time of the year when our schedule gets kind of bumped around with all of the various holidays and stuff that are about to happen. So maybe we can find a little bit of time to offset a small hiatus with a small little bit, perhaps, as well. Who could say? We'll figure that out. And Sly is already on that follow-up question. Can Rose and I be ferrets for said game? Yes, again, if I run something like that, I promise the mods a game, and honestly, I think that would be very fun. So we'll see. Question for all from Raven Witch. Hi, Raven. How's it going? If all characters would have an animal familiar, what would it be? I think this is kind of similar to a question we asked earlier about what animals would we be, but
That's different though.
it is. You're right.
Emery has to have something badass. Maybe like a falcon or something.
Falcon.
Like a big fuck off falcon.
Yeah.
I feel like Vernon, like what I was originally going to do when we were going to have him find a familiar to like sacrifice to the other, you know, big fish thing. I was going to have him like pull a carp out. And then I was going to run a joke where like it's a carp for like 50 episodes and then it turns into a giant like snake monster, like in Pokemon.
That'd be very funny. I mean, also,
Yeah.
not for nothing, but literally Carpe Diem. It's super funny.
Very
I
true.
think Tim would have some kind of little like critter with hands. Either like a little monkey or I was thinking like an eye. Also, like
Ooh.
something kind of creepy, but
Yeah.
that has hands.
Yeah.
The hands are very
Nice.
important.
Yeah, it has to be as easy to get into trouble as Tim is, or more so.
Yes.
Don't
Yeah.
don't eyes?
Yeah.
Aren't those the ones that have like the really long, creepy finger?
Yeah.
Just
And
the
also
one
like
though.
the really
Yeah.
fucking
Big eyes and the
eyes,
creepy
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Mhm.
never heard of this before. So
Oh, Google it. It's weird
Very
looking.
good.
They're
very
cool.
good.
They're
very
I
cute.
should
good.
They're
know
kind of like
this.
sugar gliders, but like
Yeah.
The
worse.
sugar glider was a little bit fucked up.
Yeah.
I know Mildred is going to have an absolutely much better thing for Rathgurther, but I have to imagine Rathgurther would have a bigger, meaner looking falcon than Emery.
Hey,
And then that would be like the whole point.
hey! No, my falcon!
Right, like she's got a falcon, Rathgurther has like an eagle or something.
Iron Talon is the coolest falcon.
Oh, of
Get
course
a
you named him
different
Iron
one.
Talon. Edgy as
Ah,
call her the pizza cutter.
it's my falcon.
Let's see here. What else we got?
The falcon can fly, and I feel like this is important to her.
You question who would win, the Horse Master or Kermery? First of all, Kermery is more angry.
That's true. That's a great motivator as well.
After all, there's only one more sleep till Christmas.
I will destroy you. I will
Ugh,
burn your house down.
I am living my best life right now. Does anyone on the couch have any questions?
How
I
do you
do.
name your familiars? It
Would you
It's
name your
mostly-
familiars?
is mostly a joke question. We can skip it. I'm sorry, Zoe. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, it's fine. My question is just for Jay.
Yeah.
The toad guy. Was he actually sinister or is he just weird?
He's just a curmudgeonly old toad.
I
Okay,
wanna know
because
why
like
he's
the
sad.
way that one of the I forget who, whether it was the alligator or the goose, somebody was like mentioned that he was like actually like a shady.
Yeah, you should stay away from him
Character?
because he's angry all the time and he's not good company.
Okay, not like he's like actually evil, just he's kind of grumpy.
He was the other archfey in the room,
Yeah,
but he's just grumpy.
he's
He's
just
a grumpy
grumpy.
toad who likes to dance.
I want Tim to be friends with him so bad. She can fix him.
She can make him worse.
No! She can fix him.
I love him as he
If anybody could, it would be her.
He did make dog.
Yeah?
Dog God.
Also, I want it to be noted that I made it canon that he's ascending because he is the best boy.
I mean, duh.
Yeah, but I gave that. I gave that as a gift.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I should be thanking you
No,
that
no,
my
not
dog
for
is going to
you.
be leaving me.
Not a gift for you. For the whole audience who loves Sparked. It's a gift for them because he's a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
Question for everyone from Jared again. What is your biggest theory about what is going on in the game?
I think that Jay is just actively trying to cause us pain and suffering at all times.
I have no plot resolutions whatsoever. I'm literally just causing damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole story is
God.
just to mess with us.
Like a
It's
monster truck rally.
Yeah.
Something to write something down in here.
I mean, listen, my readers accuse me of that sometimes.
Part of me
Like
feels
the
like,
stars
They're
just
right,
trying
though.
to hurt them. Hey, now.
what?
Hey, now. This is
You're an
what
all-star?
dreams are made of. Okay, we went two completely different directions there.
Yeah.
I feel
Okay.
Thanks.
Emery has to
Starts
punch a
making
wizard
evil.
at some point, and
True,
that's
there is
going
a
to be a
wizard.
thing.
Does anyone else have any big theories? Emery's got to punch a wizard for sure.
Tim wasn't here for that last time. There is supposedly a wizard that made it so that nobody remembers Emery's mom, who is apparently the person who betrayed her and ruined her life and caused all of the bullshit. But there's some kind of reason why we can't remember that she exists or what her name is or anything. So I have to go punch a wizard at some point.
Weird.
Mhm.
I have nothing to add to that. I think that there is something with like the planes going on and the fact that like all of the characters have some sort of like connection to other planes, and I don't it's things that I've like have been sort of like percolating in my brain for a little bit, but that have been made sort of more explicit during this dinner party with these animals.
I mean,
So I
you all
don't-
have
yeah.
the benefit of being in more than one campaign too, where I reference
Yes.
these things in different angles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. So that's something with that, but I don't have any like firm concepts.
Yeah, and I have no idea what's going on. I literally am just the golden retriever in the room, just like, okay, I'll roll that dice, sure.
I think it's
God.
I've never been big into making theories about like stuff. I just like to go for a ride.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just like to be taken on an adventure. And like sometimes I'll think of stuff, but I just like to watch a story unfold. That's my thing.
Oh no,
Like-
I need to figure out all the things.
Like ferrets on the back of a mechanical dog. You are
Basically.
all along for the ride.
We are all born ceaselessly back into the past. Yeah, no, like why do you think that I always play like high intelligence characters? I need to know the answers. Let me roll those history checks and arcana checks and find the solutions.
And I just like to make things difficult for everybody else, so that's why I constantly steal things or throw a wrench into the
It's so
conversation.
good. So again, I love like the gamut of players here, because again, we have characters that will absolutely always interact with the story in various ways, and at least 2 of them in this party are about figuring out the funnest thing that can happen with what comes up, and are completely disinterested in knowing beforehand, which is, I mean, you want to know why I write the way I write? Or rather this, because Vernon's right there. Because it's yeah, that's what happens. You gotta be on your toes sometimes, because players like that, and it makes the story more interesting. Yes, I do have a full story for Vernon. It's so cool, and Vernon is just doing shit.
I'm gonna cut off my other arm.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Oh, that one didn't grow back. Interesting. Also,
Oh, I'm bleeding profusely and in immense pain.
oh, interesting. Let's see
I have
here.
to jot this down. Oh no, it was my dominant hand.
Is it easier to punch a wizard or a volcano? Honestly, the volcano doesn't move around, so
That's true. That's true. But I also feel like a volcano wouldn't have as much give as a wizard's spindly little face.
that's true. Yeah.
Joey, are you being offended on
I am
behalf of
feeling
your
attacked.
character in our
I
other
am
campaign?
feeling attacked.
Oh yeah? Well, you
Yeah.
shouldn't
Literally.
yet. I haven't done that yet. Listen, Emery is not in our Thursday
Yeah,
campaign.
Verity would not.
Verity would never punch Annie, but
It should meet. Be very funny. Emery would absolutely punch it.
oh yeah, we still have to explain the Dave jokes from the start of stream.
we will do that. I'll take time for that after this next question, I think. Oh, there's 2 questions. Okay, so first of all, Rose is asking, we haven't seen what Tammy is up to for some time. What does everyone think she's up to these days? I have a real answer, but what does everyone think?
Well, I know because you told me.
Oh, that's right.
She's living her best life.
She is.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
First of
I
all,
think
yes.
she's still just living her
adventuring?
best life.
Like,
Living her best
she's-
life, yeah.
Yeah.
She is an adventure with another party that I run in the same universe. So
Oh.
her world, she has decided to become an adventurer because she thinks it'll be fun. She will absolutely get bored and leave at some point.
I'm just
It's
gonna
the
go back to my
way-
life as a chest.
The way Tammy is, right? And I encourage you all to put Tammy in any of your games, because the more random her stories are, the more fitting it is. And then we got a question from Jared. If I missed this one already, I'm sorry for asking again, but did anyone update their character rules from 2014 to 2024? I don't think anyone has, although Emery
for
really
Emery.
should, because
Yeah.
yeah, the new Eldritch Knight is very good. Vernon probably should as well. Tim Tam, there is none because although you could update your species because gnome is better now than it used to be, but only marginally so. And then obviously there's no artificer, so Wrathgother might want to because there are bard rules are just better now, and obviously so are half orc rules. So, or pardon me, I should say orc rules because half orcs don't exist anymore. But regardless. That's the way that is. So I guess let's take a moment to explain Dave. Because we've got only a couple of minutes left, so we might as well explain Dave and why Dave is funny. Do you want to explain Dave?
Yeah, Dave is our pet skull in our Sunday game. He is a little skull. He's a vampire, and we found him in like a crypt. And we adopted him, and now he's the most important character in our Sunday game. So, Dungeons and Daves.
Dungeons and Daves.
You have to do the voice for the people who are not familiar.
He's a pathetic little. So imagine if Skeletor was even more wimpy. So Dave is literally a nerd who was so insufferable in life that they turned him into a vampire as a joke and put him in a tomb and left him there. And so the only reason he has never gotten out is because he just doesn't know how to vampire. Because otherwise it would have been very easy for him to get out. Like the tomb door wasn't locked. Like he doesn't know how to utilize blood very well. And so he's just a skull who constantly rants about how everyone is his minion and he is going to raise an evil army of darkness and win and teach all of his old bullies who are like have been dead for millennia. And he's going to be like, meh, I am the way I am evil, and you are all my minions. You will listen to me. And then everyone constantly denigrates him because of course he's a little useless skull. And they put corks on his teeth. And it gave him a lisp. I have to remind you, Dave does not have, one, he's a skull, and two, he does not have his lower mandible. And he sometimes forgets that he should have a lisp until someone reminds him.
He's just a silly little guy. And he is
very
somehow,
dramatic, too. He got slapped, and he can't feel pain, and yet he still bitched about it.
Yeah, he got bitch slapped across the room. By my character.
I almost manipulated her character into killing Dave. It was great.
No.
Wonderful.
No. Not my character, Leaveley's character.
No, and yours.
Ah! Listen, there is a murder condition that Dave will probably hit at some point, but this is not that campaign. This is not that campaign.
Dave is the pinnacle of beauty. I could never be her.
Dave has just somehow become the most important character in our Sunday game, which means that he is the most important character in the multiverse. We love Dave.
Dave is... God.
Dave cameo when?
Wrecked my plans. I mean, not only is he in a different universe, he is 100 years in the past? Something like that? Over 100 years?
Empires are immortal, though.
That's true. But in this universe, did anyone break him out of his tomb?
What I'm hearing is we could go get him.
You could if you wanted to take a trip all the way down near Baldur's Gate and Elturel.
For no particular reason.
Uh-huh.
We love Dave. Anyway, that's the lore.
That is the
Dungeons
lore.
and Daves.
Lore. The deep lore on Dave.
Dave and Dragons.
Dave and Dragons. All right, everybody. I'm going to give you all 1 minute to ask any more questions you want while I ask my party here if they have any more questions, and then we are getting out of here. So ask your questions if you want to. Party, do you have any questions? Emergency last minute questions, anybody? Anybody?
How does your character feel about long walks on the beach?
Tim doesn't know what a beach is.
Oh!
But
that's so
he would
tragic.
love shells.
She would.
Everything. She'd like pick up dead
absolutely
stingrays and like, oh yeah, she'd
I
touch
thought that
everything.
was-
Yep.
I thought that was a pun because of the Thursday game.
No.
Someone is asking, is the Sunday game viewable or just for y'all? It is not viewable. It is a game, one of the many games I run as a professional DM. And so it is not viewable. However, if you all follow Star on various social medias, especially in Tumblr, she talks about those games nonstop. So you should.
I have worms in my brain, and they compel me to talk about the fictional little guys on
That's right.
Tumblr.com. I also have a what's it called, an Unveil account where I've been posting like little blurbs and stuff.
Yes, indeed. We'll have to link that at some point. But aside from that, it's not like, obviously we're all storytellers and we're all like performers to some degree. And so of course, I think at some point it's going to be inevitable that those stories will get put somewhere. We're trying to think of how we're going to do that, but they're all so good. They're so good. I hate depriving people. And we are also trying to think of another streamed game. I don't know what that's going to be like. It's definitely not going to be Dungeons and Dragons. But we're going to figure something out, I think.
Listen, I already have my character for it ready to go, so...
Yeah, I just don't know what we're going to do. We'll have to figure that out. We'll do something. That one's going to be much more edited together and stuff like that, too. It won't be like live, I don't think. How do you become a professional DM? My goodness, there's a bunch of ways. I would look up startplaying.game. It is where I primarily run my stuff. It is a very good platform. It allows you to run games for a certain price. Allows your players to tip you, all that stuff. Start running like one-shots and modules and stuff like that. Easy to run things that you know very well and have assets for. Go for it. Start it up. Trust me, there's no good time like now. I got badgered into doing it, and I'm very glad I did. Because I am now a full-time, basically, DM, and it is working out somehow.
Somehow, he says.
Yes. But you can also look up Demiplane. Demiplane's good. If you run Pathfinder a lot, actually, or the Avatar TTRPG, Demiplane is actually way better because it has a D&D Beyond-like service built into it for those games. That's very good. Try it out. Try different things. Be interesting. Poke at it while you have the time to poke at it and let it grow into something. All right. I think that's going to be it for questions. Unless any of the table suddenly came up with one. No? Perfect. Okay, so we're going to do our sign-offs here. But first, I want to once again bring attention to the mods. Thank you, please, to Slyfox and Fernand's My Bio, both in chat. They are, once again, both creators in their own right, and they both have their own links. I desperately hope they work with the new bot. The bot has, like, character limits, so I had to, like, scrunch things. Anyways, both of the mods should come up. Please take a look at their stuff. They are wonderful people, and they give us a lot of help on the channel, so please take a look at that. I also, before I want to give us our sign-offs, thank all of our members, not only our channel members here on YouTube, but also, of course, anyone who supports us on Ko-Fi. You know who you are. I would love to have a screen later on that puts up all the names, so I will work on how to get that working. I'm not a technically competent person usually, so we'll see how that happens. But seriously, honestly, thank you. And if you do want to, and think you have a little bit of extra money to throw around, supporting us on Ko-Fi, for instance, is probably the best way to do it. And it goes directly to the production and to the cast and the mods and stuff like that to help support us as we're doing things. So we thank you all for helping us keep the lights on. Aside from that, I also want to take a special shout out to Jinx, Wild Jinx, who is right now editing all of our VODs and stuff. So all the extra VODs that have been coming back onto the channel, those have been because Jinx has been working on that. So please give her a nice thanks the next time you see one of our VODs go up. Just go into the comments. Thank her. And from then on, let's start with our sign-offs, shall we? Let's start with Ron.
Hi, I'm Ron. You might know me from my podcast, Just a Little Guy, which you can find at justalittleguypod.com. There's all sorts of cool episodes on there. We just had Mildred from this show that's not, they're not here right now, but they were on my show. So if you need your Mildred fix and you want to hear them talking to me, you can go check out that episode right now at justalittleguypod.com or on YouTube or on your podcatcher of choice. And that's me.
Star.
Hi, I'm Star. I am omnipresent. I am everywhere. I am at the Starfish Face on basically every platform. Yes, Zoe, I'm in your house. I saw you look around. I am there. You did not see me. I am there. I am most active on Blue Sky and Tumblr and also YouTube. I make silly little videos. I have a webcomic, castoff-comic.com. We are getting into the throes of some shit in the comic right now. But we are getting lore. Like this entire chapter turns out is lore. Surprise. And also I have a book. If you also want to make a webcomic, it is called How to Webcomic. You can get it on my store, thestarfishface.com. I think
And
that's
your
it.
volume 1?
Oh yeah, well it's not available yet. It's gonna be a few more months.
Okay. Right, but the Kickstarter is still open, isn't it?
You can't support it right now.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't put up pre-orders because when I did pre-orders for How to Webcomic, some people got snippy because it took too long. So I'm just I'm not doing that yet again.
Good. Fine.
But that's me.
Yeah, that's gotcha. Zoe.
Yes, I am Zoe B. I am a YouTuber. I do video essays. You can just find me if you just search Zoe B. That's me. And I don't do any other social media. So if you want to find me, that's the place. Though in all of my videos, if you go in the description, there's a link to my Discord. If you want to hang out in the Discord, there's a great community there. I think that's it. I have a video coming out probably after the next session of this. So this is a little early, but end of October, there will be another video coming out about language and politics and stuff. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Your last one was very good.
Yeah.
It better have been.
Yeah.
Well, we know it was good because I did a cameo in it.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the only
Star
reason
did
why
a
it was good.
cameo
Yeah.
in the media literacy video, which is very telling. And aside from that, I'll do our dear buddy Thoughts Line Mildred is not here today. I assume working very hard on some extra content. Mildred runs a channel called Thought Slime and also a channel called Scaredy Cats on YouTube, where she goes into these wonderful old like campy and just gooey and like puppet filled horror movies, and it is just it's a great watch. Honestly, any horror aficionados, you should absolutely stop by and take a quick peek at any of those as well. And as for me, you have found me. Hello, this is the Jaycorn channel. I have put all of our stories up on here, and again, I've said this for the last couple months. We are still planning on extra content in the future. Things are busy as usual, but we'll see. We've got stuff. Listen, things are gonna happen. They're gonna at some point. Hey, although if you're still watching and you haven't, look at the like button. And subscribing to the channel if you haven't. Like and subscribe. What type of werewolf I have in the game.
Woo!
Absolutely like and to subscribe to the video. If you can, also leave a comment. Hey, good for engagement. Tell us how much you enjoyed the ball and what kind of animal you would have been in the ball. Come on now. There's got to have been more variety. I had a narwhal dancing with a spider earlier. Gotta be important. There was a rooster as the announcer.
But, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's it. I'm going to go and have dinner very quickly before I run another game.
Wow.
Because
Whoa.
what I do.
The grind never stops.
It's not, listen, if you do something you love, you'll be forever tired because you love it so much you grind into the ground.
Okay, see, you do get it though, because you were giving me shit about that on break.
It was.
But you do the same shit.
I really love telling stories, though. What I do.
Okay, well then I will be bothering you with Blorbo thoughts later then.
I mean, you can
as
bother me
always.
whenever. I multitask like crazy, as you can tell. Anyways, everybody, I hope you all enjoyed our game for this month. We will be seeing you once again on October the 25th. Mark your calendars. It will be... You know what? We're still in a face circus. We're gonna do spooky. We're gonna do something spooky. I'll design something spooky. It'll be fun. We'll have a parade or something. Who knows? Yeah. Listen, I'm milking this Feywild thing as much as I can. It's great. Great for content.
Yeah. It's the best.
It is the best. We will see you all later. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.